Good morning and welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm Joe Jaquin, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group, and our toll-free number, 800-951-0592, the website at allamericangold.com, and the talk of the day is silver, it's Reddit, it's Wall Street bets, it's Robinhood, it's can the masses take down Wall Street, all of that and so much more today. Wow, it has been an incredible day. My wife and I were actually here yesterday when the silver markets opened. That was at 4 o'clock Eastern time. So we were here. I was actually taking orders. I've been here since about 3 o'clock this morning. Absolute pandemonium everywhere. Silver, for those of you that don't know, silver is the next target. The group that I'll call it the Reddit group, for lack of a better word, who targeted GameStop and AMC and all these others, is now targeting the silver markets, and it's been incredible. The demand is through the roof. I've never seen anything like it. Nobody has any silver, but I do. But I've only now got dimes and quarters. That's it. No more half dollars, silver eagles, silver bars. All of it's gone. Matter of fact, I saw somebody selling silver eagles for like $42. So just to kind of give you an idea of premiums, we've got silver floating around between 28, 29. Let's call it $29, but $28 to $30 this morning, $42 plus on silver, and they were backdates to boot. But nonetheless, here's what I've got. I started this morning. I had 23 full bags of utility or junk silver. We're more than halfway through. We're through 12 of the 23. All as I have left are dimes and quarters. That's it. They're $27,000 for the bag. You can buy the roll. You can buy a quarter bag, a half bag. If you want to buy all 11 bags, be my guest. And again, remember, this is not through one of the exchanges. This is an individual, a friend of mine. I've developed this relationship over years and years and years. He cut me off of half dollars today, and then I don't know that he's going to let me sell anymore. So this may be. These last 11 bags may be it. And that's what it sounded like, because I'll be honest with you, I had bought 13 bags this morning, and as I was almost out, I called him back. He allowed me this extra 10, but really indicated that may be it. So, and again, it's a guy. He could change his mind tomorrow, but this is where it sits today. I don't have any half dollars. Obviously, Silver Eagles, the Mint won't even take an order right now. For those of you that have already ordered Silver Eagles and have been waiting, tomorrow I'll be able to give you an update. I'm fingers crossed, optimistic that most of the people that ordered in the middle of January, that they'll either ship out today and start heading their way to me, or next Monday, one of the two. And here's the good news. I don't care how high silver goes. So go 30, go to 40, go to 50. You're locked in. You'll get them as soon as they're in. But just be patient with us. And again, if you're looking for silver right now, junk silver, a.k.a. utility silver, dimes and quarters is what I have available. And like I said, I don't know how long this is going to last. If it's like the last 2 hours, these bags will be gone, by 11 o'clock today. If it slows down a little bit, maybe it'll last a little longer. I'm not very optimistic. I want to be hopeful, but I'm not optimistic he's going to let me sell any more. So there you have it, 800-951-0592. I hope you had a great weekend. It's kind of weird, I guess the Phoenix Open, I guess the Waste Management Open, the golf tournament's coming to town, the Super Bowl now, Super Bowl week, and really just, the Waste Management Open, the Phoenix Open, this is something over the course of a week over 1 million people would go to. Nothing. I mean, they're going to let it. I think less than 10,000 people in. I don't know the exact number, but the event will not be anything like what it used to be because of COVID. Of course, then we've got the Super Bowl coming up this weekend as well. And then after that, I guess it's college basketball for all you sports fans out there. I don't know. I think I'll probably watch the Super Bowl and hope that it's a good game, the Chiefs and the Bucks. But other than that, that's really about it for me. And then what else was there? Oh, that's right. You know what? When we get back, we're going to talk about how big is this group, and could it be the problems that it's going to cause for Wall Street? We're going to talk about that when we return. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. The Reddit spike, if you will. Silver, the biggest jump in silver since 2009. Silver hit the highest price in over 8 years today as the vigilantes, and they're not vigilantes, but the Reddit group. Do you know that I learned from my son? He kind of gave me more details over the weekend. There's over 4 million followers of this group. So this is very large. They've been sending shockwaves through Wall Street. We learned, well, kind of just what I've been telling you the whole time. You just learn, listen, it's not meant for you to make any money. We're supposed to put our money in our 401k, do all, keep putting it in. Don't worry about the fact that Wall Street was, doubled in price, but yet, our 401ks only went up 25%. Don't worry. Just be a good little person, listen, just do what we tell you to do. And then turn the station. Don't listen to the Patriot Radio News Hour. Don't listen to me. Go to the sports channel. Turn on the bebop music, right? Go and get your XM comedy channel. Yeah, just distract yourself. And now we learned all of a sudden when we start to even the playing field, what do? Block you from buying. Matter of fact, all of them. We'll say Robinhood, but when I say Robinhood, right, I'm talking about all of them. Like Ameritrade, and I don't even know all their names, but you know their names. You know who I'm talking about. All of them are doing the same thing. They're preventing. What was it? Thursday, where you couldn't even buy shares of GameStop or AMC or any of those others. Even today, they're only allowing you to buy a single share in like half a dozen stocks. E-Trade, Ameritrade, Fidelity, Robinhood, all of these groups. What are you talking about? You have this platform that says I'm allowed to buy, sell, and trade stocks. Oh, wait. I only can buy, sell, and trade stocks that coincide with what Wall Street wants me to buy. I can't do. They're just blocking. Well, and again, they don't have the money, and this is the problem with lack of liquidity. And this is why you think about the central bank and all the money they're printing, right? Print, and there's still not enough. Now, if you want to put money in, you could have put money in this morning, and it would be available. Before the bank opened, it would be available. As soon as the bank opened, boom, it'd be available. Not now. Nope. Now these funds are holding the money, and they're not even going to put them in your accounts until the weekend, because they don't want you to buy it, right? They don't want you to help move this move. They want to try to block it. They want to try to stall it. And again, this is all you really need to know. Forget about the semantics. Will it work? Yeah, probably. But whenever they want, this is what the reality is going to be. And when we sit here, and I don't care if you're a Democrat, a Republican, a Libertarian, it doesn't matter what, black, white, yellow, it doesn't matter. They will block us. They will ensure that we don't make any money. And just like I told you back in 2013 that they changed all the laws. And I'm not talking about Dodd-Frank. If you go look in there, you're not going to find it. But through the Federal Reserve and the SEC, at any time, if there is a threat or a perceived threat to the system, I might as well just put bank in there, they can prevent you from doing anything. They can prevent you from buying, as we've seen here, right? They can also prevent you from selling, which is what we're going to see at the next crash. You will not be able to sell. You won't go to the sidelines. You won't be able to do anything. And you think about it, this shouldn't surprise anybody. And the fact of the matter is, it took this group to kind of expose how thin it really is. Are you telling me that GameStop? I mean, I think I've been into a GameStop like 3 times, and I promise you I haven't been to a GameStop in 10 years as my kids got older, right? They sell video games in, I don't even know, 2,000 square foot buildings at, storefronts that they're closing them all over the place. Almost took down Wall Street. That's exactly what happened. And this is the thing that we learned during the financial crisis. All of these banks, they all have these trading arms and these subsidiaries, right? We're not even sure who owns who. But they're all tied together. They can't handle a huge shock to the system. They saved them. They only lost 20. I think GameStop alone cost Wall Street $20 billion, and was it Wedbush, whoever the big client was? Oh no, Melvin Capital. They lost like $7 billion. Right? They only had $12 billion. They lost $7 billion, and then got Citadel and someone else to loan them $3 billion. But the thing that they didn't tell you is, I want to say it was on Thursday. If they hadn't have done what they did on Thursday, Robinhood may be out. Melvin Capital would not exist. I mean, they'd have lost all of their money. The losses, instead of $20 billion, would have been $70. And this is the thing. I heard Jim Cramer trying to convince everyone, Lord, listen, there's not enough short. I don't think they can take down Wall Street. I'm looking at the shorts, and it costs $70 billion. No, you don't know that. You don't know what it's going to cost. And I say that because you don't know how high the price is going to go. But for all of you listening, I want you to understand what's really happening here. It doesn't have, who cares about GameStop, right? AMC. No one's even going to the movies, right? It's what they did that matters. And what they did is they told all of us little people, you don't matter. Which is what I've been telling you the whole time. It's all about the system. This is why I'm convinced that we're going to have, at least as orderly as can be, transitioned into digital money. The dollar's days are about done. Right? This is just another example, right? What happened with Wall Street last week. That's just another example. Let's see what happens with silver. Right? Already, the biggest jump since March of 2009, and of course, think about 2009. We're in the depths of the worst housing crash we'd ever seen. We're in the middle of a financial crisis, and so far they've got it up, almost double digits. I think at the peak, silver was up 11%. The move in 2009 was 13% in a day. But the thing is, if they go the way they're going now, if it's another 10% tomorrow, you're probably going to see, really, matter of fact, if we see silver like break 31.5, we're going to see 35. If 35 doesn't hold, we're going to see 40. And I'm talking about, this can happen in a matter of hours. And this is what makes this market so unpredictable. I would imagine JP Morgan would dig its heels in and at least try to draw a line in the sand at 40. I don't know. They may just throw their hands up and say, "Okay, we'll just ride it with you," and then we could see 60 just that fast. 80, 100. Silver, a very, very, very manipulated metal, and Wall Street's trying, right there. CNBC's trying to convince. Oh no, it's not that bad, and it's not that manipulated. It doesn't have that many shorts. Yeah, it does. And when we sit there and we look at what happens, it's almost like we're taking a shot. This is how I look at it, really. We talk about revolution. Are we going to have, kind of like another civil war? Because we're so politically divided. This is the same thing. Except this is a war against what? Against Wall Street. This is 4 million, maybe now, but probably by now 5 million strong. And look at all the things they're trying to do to prevent them. The site keeps crashing, right? The stock trade accounts are holding people's money for a week so they can't get in. They're limiting how much stock you can buy, right, to try to force the prices down. They're trying to work against us. And again, I think this is what you see, right? When we were good little, just put money in your 401k and shut up. Everything was just fine. Now all of a sudden, hey, wait a minute. We want the big lick, right? We want to double our money. We want to triple our money. Well, let me explain it to you, folks. If we're going to double, triple, quadruple our money, then who loses? Yeah, did you figure it out yet? 800-951-0592. The silver spike has started. We'll see how it goes. Right now, silver's up over almost over $2 now. March silver contract. That is the most current contract. There's not a February contract for silver. The March contract right now is $28.90. $28.90 on the silver contract. It was just above 29, moving pretty quick here. Gold has a February contract. Gold's $18.63. It's up $16. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. We're down to 9 bags of dimes and quarters. Let me just break it down for you. By the roll, dimes are $135. Quarters are $270. Full bags, which is 715 ounces of silver, are $27,000. As I said earlier in the show, nobody has any silver. This is a private party that I'm getting them from. I thought I would have 100 bags at my disposal. That is not the case. Will not sell me any more half dollars. So I have everyone who's ordered halves, you're getting them, but I don't have more. When I blew through the first bunch of bags I bought early this morning, he gave me 10 additional bags and dimes or quarters. He didn't care which. So you guys can buy whatever one you want. It's not like I've got 4 bags of dimes and 5 bags of quarters or anything. It's just assorted, whatever you want. But doesn't look like I'll have more. Now, I don't know what the move, right? Again, we don't know. You know, the thing that, the danger that this exposes, this isn't GameStop or AMC. Silver's a much bigger market. Big. Because all the banks are in it. It's big. But to be able to move prices like this and then start forcing delivery, and this is kind of the part that gets kind of creepy and scary. Could they bust? And they're some people are talking about them potentially busting the gold and silver markets, that they're going to demand delivery on these positions and expose the fact that, hey, listen, this is just a big casino, right? Wall Street papers up these markets, and there's not nearly the amount of physical product, and that's the goal, right? That appears to be the goal. One of the Bitcoin brothers, the Winklemans or whatever, the Winklevoss, whatever they're called, the twins, if those of you know what I'm talking about, they are all over Twitter about the silver squeeze, saying that if it's successful and exposes there's more paper claims on silver than actual silver, which we already know that to be true. The payoff will be enormous, and the gold markets are next. And really, gold and silver are going to run together. One's not going to go without the other. Going to be interesting to see how all of this plays out. And I think the hard part in all of this is, right, premiums are high. But when you wake up and you're seeing $2 and $3 move. I mean, if you see a $2-3 move every day for the next 3 or 4 days, right? What are we talking about? Because at that point, when J.P. Morgan and others have to cover their shorts, then you could see all of a sudden, boom, silver spikes to 60. I don't know. We'll see. This is a bigger fish. This is a bigger fish than GameStop or AMC. So I don't want to make it sound like, hey, this is some easy thing to do. But that's where the potential is. They're saying that, as an example, more than 4 million shares of the junior silver miners traded on Thursday and Friday. The 3-month average volume is like 1.5 million. So you're seeing huge activity now, not only in silver, but in the silver miners and others. The physical silver demand unprecedented. Like I said, this has been, I've never sold this many junk bags in a day ever. Ever. It's incredible how many. Silver Eagles, we used to sell a lot of those in a day, but this is by far the biggest. This may be the biggest single day in our history. And we've been doing this for 25 years. That's how busy it is in here. 800-951-0592. You do not have to buy an entire bag. You can buy them by the rolls. You can buy a quarter bag, a half bag, a full bag. However you want to do it, we're here for you until I'm out. And that's just how it is. Right? And everybody's in the same boat. Matter of fact, we're more fortunate than most. I don't know how many people actually have any. Like I said, I was out online trying to see for anybody that had Silver Eagle backdates. The only price I saw was $42. So that's a lot cheaper than that. So 800-951-0592. When we get back, we had some economic data out. What did the ISM Manufacturing Index show us today? And what could that mean as far as the Federal Reserve wanting to get to this mythical 2% inflation creature? One of these the number inside manufacturing, prices paid. In other words, what did I have to pay to make my product? And what they saw in the index was everyone had to pay a lot more. Prices jumping at the fastest rate that we've seen this millennium. So this inflation thing, again, I think we've got this perfect storm where we've got inflation brewing. We've got an economy that needs way more stimulus, on top of the fact that the central bank's already monetizing all the debt as it is. It's kind of that perfect powder keg. One thing goes wrong. What happens if another hedge fund blows up? Is somebody going to give them $3 billion or $5 billion or $10 billion? What happens if one of these hedge funds is actually owned by one of the major banks? Right? Are they going to have to take a $7 billion loss, a $10 billion loss, a $20 billion loss? I think that's really what's at stake here. 800-951-0592. Got two lines open. Dimes and quarters. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Silver sold out just about everywhere. We're still having some supply left. Looks like we're trying to keep track because we got it going online. through the phone. If you want to order online, you can do so at allamericangold.com. Looks like now we started the day with 23 bags of junk silver. I'm out $0.50. We're down to about 8 bags now between the dimes and the quarters at 800-951-0592. The economic data, of course, everyone's focused in on what's going to happen here. You got to remember, Wall Street was where you used to have price discovery. And that's what it was for. What it was set up for. What is something worth? And you'd have these market makers and kind of like an odds maker taking bets. And now what we've learned is that's gone. All we have are manipulated markets run by a handful of big banks that for the first time, at least in my memory, are being challenged, and it's all falling apart. I don't think people really understand how close Wall Street was to unraveling last week. And they held it together. They put on a brave face. Citadel stepped in and saved the hedge fund. Of course, Melvin Capital hedge fund, the guy owns like a 44,000 square foot home in Florida. I mean, these guys are just opulence out the you-know-what. And now I think we're seeing people that have always thought, hey, you know what? I need to have hard assets. Why isn't gold worth more? Why isn't silver worth more? And I think we're finding out because it's manipulated. They don't want you to know the real value. But isn't that what Wall Street, price discovery, isn't that what it's for? I mean, really, think about it for a minute. We're running, I don't know, we don't even know what the numbers is. $3, $4, $5, $6, $8, $10 trillion budget deficits. Our central bank is the largest holder of our debt, and it grows. They buy $120 billion a month, and we know that's not enough. A 10-year note that at 1% looks awfully expensive. Right, we got record unemployment, right? Jobless claims numbers for almost, right? We got about 6 more weeks. We'll have a year straight of record-breaking jobless claims. It was so bad they actually had to change the way they calculated the numbers. And now in the manufacturing data that came out this morning, the number actually disappointed, but the big jump was in the intensifying cost of raw materials, right? Things that it takes to build whatever it is they're building. They're saying near record supply chain disruption. Firms were passing on higher costs, selling prices rising at the fastest pace since the Wall Street crash. And I don't know, let's tie it together. What Wall Street crash was it? August of 2008. Inside this data here today, they said that cost for people that make things rising at the fastest pace since July of 2008. Now, I don't know. There's a lot of variables. This is just one. Is this telling us that we're going to have a crash here soon? Right? Are we a month away? I don't know. We'll see. But this is the one thing that, they tell us that they want to see it, right? We want to see more inflation, but they really don't mean it. And if we have this thing fly through, right, and all of a sudden we're looking at, and I don't care what the cost is. Look at my costs. My costs are through the roof. Costs for silver, gold, way more than it was. Cost for boxes, cost for shipping. Dude, I shipped $11,000 box the other day. It had 3 rolls of silver, and the rest of it was gold. $50 to ship it because the weight of the silver. I mean, this is happening everywhere. And they're sitting there talking about these jobs are coming, but these jobs aren't coming back. Right? They're going to automate these jobs right out of existence. The Biden administration wanting another $2 trillion on top of that. Now the Republicans, they want to send everybody $1,000. I mean, come on. Really? Right? The checks are never going to end. And this is what happens. I told you sooner or later we are going to find out you just can't keep printing money out of thin air. Eventually, the laws of economics will prevail. And just like any other product, you make too much of something, what happens to its value? If you overmake things, what happens? Its value plummets, right? And then you're on the clearance rack. You can't even give it away. That's the U.S. dollar. That's the U.S. dollar. Why do you think these Reddit guys are targeting the silver market? Because they know. They know how vulnerable the dollar is. Patriot Radio News Hour, final segment coming up. 800-951-0592, final segment here. Patriot Radio News Hour. Got a few lines open. Gold is up about $17, $1,866. If you're looking at the gold side of things, U.S. $20 gold pieces, I've got about 70 to 80 $20 gold pieces. I'm not even sure they're going to be libs or saints. I don't even know what. 2,200 at 800-951-0592. So U.S. $20 gold pieces at $2,200. Whatever's left on junk silver, as I told you, dimes or quarters. $135 a roll for dimes, $270 a roll for quarters. If you want a full bag, it's $27,000. The silver market up over $2 to the ounce right now, $29.10. This is the March silver contract. Kitco's got a weird price, so I don't know if Kitco's behind. I know that Kitco's got a spot, and there's not a February contract, but you normally don't see such a big gap. Kitco's got it up $1.39 because there was some movement after hours on Friday, but they've got a price of $28.38. So there's like a 70 cent difference. So I'm not sure if that's accurate or not, but either way, the front contract for silver, the March contract, up back above 29. It's been as high as $30.35 overnight. Right now, just over $29 to the ounce. Wall Street was going back and forth. They were recovering. They had a bad day on Friday. Yeah, so up about 250 points. I think they liked the fact GameStop came off today. And again, mostly because all of them don't allow these the buying. And I've got a feeling that some of these GameStop profits may be now flowing in to the silver markets because the other day, the higher inflation, that's not good for Wall Street. The 10-year note, let's watch this, 107 on the 10-year note, so fairly consistent in what we've seen. The euro and the pound are weaker today as both of them, well, let's face it, they don't like the dollar being weak. They want their currencies to be weak, and it's kind of a race to the bottom. Tomorrow, if I get to it, barring any crazy stuff happening tomorrow, I want to talk about how close is China to passing the United States in GDP. So China's economy grew at about 2.5% last year. Ours shrunk by 2.5%. And just a simple valuation change to the renminbi. All of a sudden, China could have the largest economy in the world in dollar terms a whole lot sooner than what they expected. Now, of course, I was telling you all along it was going to be before 2025, and of course they were saying 2035. Now they're getting a little closer to home, but I'll talk about that one. Really interesting story about that. Patriot Radio News Hour, 800-951-0592. God bless everybody. Take care. We'll be back tomorrow, hopefully, with more stuff to sell.